Alright, so this video is going to be a little bit longer than the other one. This one's the video where you actually put everything together and grind it all up and heat it and all that good stuff. So this is the pre-video stuff that I did. I just want to show you guys I skimmed all the burdock roots, skins and beets and carrots, and that's what all this is. I'll be going to my compost. And so this is what we have here. I'll show you guys all the ingredients as I put them into the blender, or Vitamix. It's what I use. Don't know how I would do without this thing with Keek's palette. So this is some ginger about that much is what I put in. It's like a stock at the stores with the ingredients list called for. And I put in 4 cloves of garlic. Again, I peeled that. Throw that one in there. This is all the burdock root. This is what it looks like once it's been peeled. And again, I put in just 1 stalk, which they do vary in size, but I put in about that much for the meat part of the meal. That's what I basically think of it as, a meat part, and then there's a vegetable part, and you combine them. And so this is the beef liver. You're supposed to give about, I think the recipe calls for 0.7 pounds. I usually go somewhere around there. They usually package it at like 0.8, 0.9, so it's close enough. A little extra liver is never going to hurt a dog. And I always go with the organic beef liver, of course, just so it's a healthier animal, healthier liver. And then you put in these. This is the oyster shells. This is just for their calcium. Calcium content is really important for a dog's meal. A lot of people who make homemade meals don't add this part. That's a step you don't want to miss. So this comes with a pre-made measuring scoop. You just do 2 of them for the size of food that we're making here. And of course, the ingredients I'm going to post on my Facebook if anybody wants it, so you guys can customize it and make like 4 times this amount or less or whatever you want to do. This is the, or first I'll put in, just because I'm already using it, I have Himalayan salt already measured out here. I just keep it in a jar because I can buy it in bulk. It's cheaper that way. And I'll add that in. The recipe calls for 2/3 of a tablespoon for this size. And so that's about what that is. And then we got this one, which calls for 2 tablespoons of bone meal. Rick and Judy. This is, I think, the only one I didn't buy for you guys. They have it at Whole Foods, though, or New Leaf, or I don't know about other grocery stores too much. I don't go to too many others. But put those things in. That's for the calcium. You want to mix that in with the meat part. And then meat, burdock, garlic. This I add in once it's already on the stove. That's the ground turkey. Turkey breast, because you don't want to go high-fat content for dogs. I found out their pancreas, I guess, isn't that good at processing it, so you want to go with low-fat meat, which is the opposite of how I do it, but it's for them. So this is all ready to go. If you just try to blend this, it will probably break, so I always just add a bunch of water, because like I said in the other video, I always heat it up anyways to get out the water and just so it's warm for them. So it doesn't really matter how much water I add. Make sure it's got enough to blend. Of course, you don't want to be sitting there and heating all day, so you want to, I guess, keep it reasonable, but I'm not too big on the measurements. Love how I do without this. Alright, so that's good to go. This is just a bunch of liquefied liver and burdock and garlic and stuff. Pour that onto the stove. Just put it on simmer. Honestly, this part is more just combining ingredients because I'm going to heat it all again anyways, so I don't really care if it's cooked or not. And also, I would someday probably like to go to a raw food if possible for these dogs, because I know that dogs didn't evolve with fire, so it doesn't really make sense to me to be heating their shit. But that is another issue. Here's the 2 pounds of turkey breast from the store. Just put that in, and I chop it up as it cooks, and especially chop it up more once I add the vegetable stuff. So that is done, and then this is going to be for the greens now. And so for the greens, I use dandelion greens. These are easy to find at the store, so I wanted to show you guys. I also have some growing in my backyard, so I've been using those lately just to get the free ones, although they are definitely spiky, so they are a little trickier. And then also, I haven't used yet, but I want to dig up one of the dandelions in the back. I guess dandelion root is really good for them as well. And so that'll be coming next. Here's what I do with the dandelion greens. I just always put those in first and get those blending while I'm getting the other stuff ready. And this you're going to want for the vegetables. You want, sorry, I'm off the video over here, aren't I? So you want basically same thing. You want enough water just so that the Vitamix doesn't break is how I do it. And you can, if anyone's got a dog who doesn't require you to blend your shit, you're allowed to chop it up. According to the recipe, just Keek goes around the vegetables and eats all the other stuff. So I have to blend it in there to get her to get it all down. And so get that blending. And then what I have here is just some, the vegetables don't really matter, you just don't want starchy vegetables. It's okay, Kiki, you already ate. So I'm throwing in now some beets that I already peeled and sliced. Put those in there. I like to give them a mixture just because you don't want to get bored with the same meal all the time. And obviously there's different nutrients and all the different stuff. So put in that. I also throw in some carrots. And they're also, I think I said that already, they're peeled. Then these are the greens that I add in. I always pick way more than I need. These are all from the garden. I have way more than I need, so I try to give them as much as almost off the paradise right there. So on here, I put in about 2 to 3 cups of water to start, so there's a lot of liquid in there too, but I just basically, there's cups on here, and I just try to wait till it gets to about 8 or 9 cups, including the water. I figure that's good for their vegetable content. So I'll throw in a bunch of kale. It's just a variety of kale and collards that I'm growing. And of course, greens, if you can grow them for your dogs or yourself, it's much better to eat greens that are not stored, sold, because the store-sold greens, in this country at least, legally have to be dipped in chlorine, believe it or not, which completely destroys a lot of the nutrition and takes away a lot of what you paid for. So this right here, so that's, as you can see, it's very pink. That's from the beets. That will also be doing things to your dog's urine. Don't think there's anything up when their urine turns out to be orange or red. And so yeah, here's basically the vegetable portions ready to go. The only thing that you got to add to the vegetable portion is some sort of cooking oil. She recommends olive oil on the thing, but I'm kind of anti-cooking with olive oil just because you got to keep it really low heat, and I'm not consistently good about that. So again, there's measurements, but I've been doing this for a while, so that's about the measurement for the coconut oil. I just put that in, let it melt, and then I'll pour all this on top of it. Just barely let it heat up a little bit, and then I mix them, and then I stir them, and then I put them into these mason jars. You can see here, I think I have one ready that I didn't put beets in last time, so it's all green. But that's basically what it looks like when it's all done. And I take those out and I let them thaw, and then do the other part of the video that I just showed you guys. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And if anybody cares for the context, of course the video's over for instructional purposes if anyone's just interested in that. But the main reason I did this video is for this little one right here. Little Sneaks, who's been barking. Keek, are you on the video? I can't see. Anyways, if you can see her, that's her running around with her 3 leftover bowls. This is my other one. And I love them like they're my kids. You know, like Americans used to love their kids before this country fell apart. Rick and Judy also love their dogs like their kids. And so my heart goes out to them. They're going through something with their little one, Maya. And I hope she heals as quickly as possible. That's why I helped you guys with these things that I got. Oh yeah, these are the Microflora. That's what you should get. Missing link. I actually am switching off of this one because it contains sugar, but I'm just using it up until it's done. There's another one from this same brand that makes the Microflora, the Herbsmith, that I'm going to be switching to next time for my mineral supplement. And then, like I said, this is the Omega-3 Pet. They sell this at grocery stores or pet supply stores. That's a good one to give them. And yeah, I basically just want to make sure that your family heals up as quickly as possible and that all things can return to normal. And I think that's about it. Oh, just in case anyone's curious what my neighbors have ever done for me, this is just one thing. They're awesome people, and I would be here for a while if I listed everything. But you know when you're in high school and you throw parties and they're loud and your neighbors hate on you and call the cops? Well, Rick and Judy, our next door neighbors growing up, actually heard those same loud noises from my parties. And basically, instead of calling the cops, they decided to call up a handyman and say, hey, we need a whole house fan. This is ridiculous. We can't sleep. And so they got a whole house fan put in, knocked out the sound. I still got to party with my friends. Paradise. Live and let live. I love you guys. And I just wanted to say, yeah, I don't really got anything else, but peace easy.